You live in your Miami high-rise, and none of this shit actually affects you, and it's more advantageous for you to be a liberal, and so it's all a game. It's just about winning. It's not about life. It's not about what's right. It's a game, and you want to win. Definitely check out Part of the Problem, his podcast. He is so on point, and especially all through the lockdowns. Him and his co-hosts were just spot on. Every single lie from the moment they said it.
These are all a bunch of lies.
They were tracking. This is wrong because this, and this, and this. Okay, you can say that, but this doesn't actually apply because that, and that. He was perfect. Let's go, Dave. Submit.
Nothing to stop it. In fact, he's made it a lot worse. Dave Smith, you've been very patiently waiting. Get stuck in.
This is the most patient I've ever been in my life.
I know. I appreciate it. But get stuck in now.
Yeah, well, look, I mean, I think probably Destiny, even you could admit that
yes,
it just shows such a tremendous disconnect and a contempt for the voters and this weird woke progressive value.
Again, what the laugh? What is it that you're finding so fucking funny about this? What is it that you're, again, to these people, it is a game. It is a game because you're a liberal elite and none of this shit actually affects you. You live in your Miami high-rise and none of this shit actually affects you, and it's more advantageous for you to be a liberal. And so it's all a game. It's just about winning. It's not about life. It's not about what's right. It's a game, and you want to win. Pathetic.
Who could admit that it just shows such a tremendous disconnect and a contempt for the voters and this weird woke progressive value that after getting her name wrong, he apologizes in his next interview for calling the guy an illegal and says he should have said undocumented, but doesn't say, hey, so, like, can you at least grant that apologizing for calling an insensitive name to the murderer and not apologizing for getting the actual name of the murder victim?
If he, I don't remember how he responds to this, but again, with any level of understanding of optics, which I know that Destiny has, you have to take that out. You can't argue this.
Correct is, it's like, are you trying to throw the election? It's almost as if like these woke progressive values have taken people to a point where they can't even do what's in their own political interest, because you would just think that the vast majority of voters would be like, well, clearly you owe an apology to one of these people and it's not the murderer.
Exactly. And so that I guess that's how far it's gone. I guess that's how far it's actually gone. That not only are we taking out morality and what is right and what is good for people, we're getting rid of that.
I'm not helping anyone with anything.
But we're not even trying to pretend that this is a game that we can even lose. It is a game, but we can't lose. So we just do whatever. And listen to this again, how he frames it. That have we gone that far that you don't even need to pretend?
They can't just woke progress trying to throw the election. It's almost as if like these woke progressive values have taken people to a point where they can't even do what's in their own political interest, because you would just think that the vast majority of voters would be like, well, clearly you owe an apology to one of these people and it's not the murderer.
Dave, what do you think is...
Oh, no. Whoa. See, this is why I hate that talking head stuff, which is it's a good clip for Dave, but Destiny's off the hook. That was such a clear question. Come on, Piers.
You owe an apology to one of these people and it's not the murderer.
Dave, what do you think is going to happen in November?
That's not what we were talking about.
Well, I mean, this is a really tough election to predict. I mean, I'll tell you, I think that I
hate how he just completely switched gears.
But
to be fair, I think Dave did a good enough job that essentially that was a rhetorical question. Destiny was definitely saved by Piers changing the subject. But I think we can give him enough credit to say that, he would have been like, well, yeah, I mean, Tyler said Tim Pool is greater than the beta male Destiny. And I agree. But again, I'm a fan of both. I don't think it is necessary to hate people who are on opposite sides of the spectrum, much less different points on the spectrum.
Better organizations that really run the United States of America and have much more power than the elected representatives. I think they have pretty clearly signaled that Donald Trump returning to the White House is unacceptable to them, and they are going to use whatever means necessary to not let that happen.
I wonder. So I'm gonna make this poll. Actually, I think the deep state, or the managerial class, as Vivek likes to call it, are so afraid of what another Trump presidency can do, especially because voting wise, we all know they can't play this thing that, oh, the world's gonna end if this crazy guy gets his hand on the nukes or whatever.
The end is nigh.
He's already been the president, so they can't play that. And I'm scared they're gonna take him out before, because we've gotten past the point of they're taking him off the ballot. Went to the Supreme Court 9-0. He is on that ballot. I don't know. Anyone says, I'm patiently waiting for the Indian Jesus walking away from Destiny fandom moment. Not gonna happen, bro. Not gonna happen. There's all of the things that we talk about, I'm very aware of. I like Destiny in spite of those things. Unless he stops being who he is, the person that you already hate, I'm not gonna stop being a fan. I think he's very intelligent. I think he's very good at talking. I think he is well read, but he just has really bad ideas on politics. I'm not gonna hate anybody who just because they disagree.
I think they have pretty clearly signaled that Donald Trump returning to the White House is unacceptable to them, and they are going to use whatever means necessary to not let that happen. And in that case, like, if you're betting against the CIA, you may not win.
That's what I'm saying. We got all four of you saying that he's going to make it to the election. Based on what? Based on what? They tried to take him off the ballot. They charged him with 91 indictments.
If there is a democratic process and Trump is not removed, as of right now, I think there's absolutely no question that Donald Trump gets elected. Look, if you look at any of the polling, the major two issues are the economy and immigration.
And that's exactly why there's no way to spin this where Trump is not better on these things. If you are a serious person, despite all of the things, despite the differences in how they talk about race, despite the differences in how they talk about gender, despite the differences in how they talk about the economy, despite the differences in how they talk about immigration. If you are a serious person, you understand that Trump is better than Biden for this job. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed that clip, check out the full live stream link in the bio and catch me live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. See you there.